got my car. I went online, of course, just like everybody else does, and stopped looking up parts. The one part I looked for first was, of course, a body kit. Because I felt like the body lines on the car look good, but of course I wanted something more aggressive. And the direction that I'm going is more sporty. So looking for rear bumpers, I found what I was looking for, but I wanted to show you guys a process on how I ended up with what I went with and why I ended up on what I went. So first thing I noticed is I love the aggressiveness of a rear bumper, like that job design one. And I also like the very last one. But I feel like I wanted to check out the prices and make sure I keep it in my budget. So price talk. Well, as you can see, some of those are a little expensive, but $2,500 for the full kit, $3,500 for a full kit, and so on and so forth. The cool thing is you have something from Japan and you have something as unique and interesting, but when you start breaking down those numbers, it really doesn't feel as worth it if I know that I can be creative. So after going through all of them, like that final connection one, I love the way that rear looks. And when I saw request price, that's automatically out of my budget. This rear end made room for quad tips. I'm not a fan. The aim game rear end, I don't like those claws on the side. And this rear from, I think, C West, it was too much. So what I ended up doing was going on eBay. Jumped on there and bam, $83 later, maybe $100 total. I think it's gonna show it. I'm not sure, but I like the aggressiveness of this piece. Now, when I went and got it, I did not know that it would fit my car. Because, of course, the IS is much, much, much smaller. They do share some suspension components. However, outside of that, I wasn't sure that the width of my bumper would match up to the width of the rear of the IS or the 3IS bumper. So I took a chance when I ordered this particular piece, and I was looking at that Q50 rear piece to change out the middle piece, but here it is, partially mounted on the car. I didn't go with the infinity piece, and here it is with it painted. I think this is what I went with for the color combination. Lastly, I have this infinity rear diffuser for sale if you want it for $90, local in Houston, Texas. But moving forward, I decided to go with a Raptor spray liner to go for the diffuser instead of getting it spray painted black. And what I found was I did not do it the right way the first time. Doing it the right way requires me to do much prepping. And it actually looks really good. And I was going for a weather type of look, but when I ended up picking it up, it actually cracked, and the fins in the middle of the diffuser and some of the ends, as you could see, they started peeling. So I just went through and started using the rubber on the gloves that I had to sand it down, but of course that wasn't enough. I was thinking I could just sand it all down and find those loose areas and go through and apply another coat, of course, and I let it sit overnight. And of course I did the method of spray it, let it dry 5 to 10 minutes like the bottle said, and move forward with multiple coats. But trying to go about that process is not always the easiest thing to do if you don't know anything about painting, which I know absolutely nothing about painting. So I resprayed it, and it looked really good when it came out, except for I think that this particular time spraying it started to crack. So I ended up stripping it all down completely to the bone, or to the plastic. Scuffed it up, put some alcohol, and gave it a good wet sand with alcohol, and made sure I got as much off as I could to create a good contact area. And I went ahead and sprayed down some Rhino liner adhesive, or Raptor liner adhesive, to be able to make sure that it got in some of those areas like in there, and then those crack and those hard to reach places, because last time it didn't get quite in there, and you could tell once you step back and take a look at it. So I spent most of the time sanding and stripping, and then I decided to do it the right way. here's the final product. I think it came out pretty good, all things considered. Walmart paint, adhesion promoter from AutoZone, and Raptor liner from AutoZone. I probably end up spending maybe $200 total, considering all the paint, Raptor liner and the things that I purchased, which brings me way in under cost total. So overall, I'm happy with the final product and waiting on the next thing to do.